All right, well, this is open again. Welcome to the DaVinci Resolve color grading. Now, color grading, it's not hard, and I've simplified it in the best way that I can. And this is how I color grade, how I'd color grade on DaVinci Resolve, and how I'd color grade on Premiere Pro. Everybody color grades slightly different, and there's no such thing as one size fits all. And it's whatever works for you. Now, I'm going to go over what I do and what I personally do to get the colors that I get, right? And I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not saying that it is wrong, but it has worked for me, and it has worked really, really well. The biggest thing with color grades is skin tones. You want to have perfect skin tones 95% of the time when you're creating a LUT. Now, the issue that I mentioned this in the CapCut tutorial, but CapCut, you're not able to map out your skin tones. And I'll show you guys how that works here, but that is, for the most part, how it is. Now, every clip has different lighting, has different backgrounds, different colors, whatnot. So my editing thought process is, okay, before I even add any sort of color, before I even try to make any sort of blue, green, orange LUT, I do basic adjustments to every single video. Now, what are basic adjustments? Contrast, saturation, shadows, highlights, white balance. I do that to every single video first before I even think about putting on a color, before I even think about putting on my LUT, or before I even think about creating my own LUT. Now, what is a LUT? A LUT is a lookup table, basically a filter. And I'm going to show you, one, how to read the different graphs and use those graphs to your advantage to be able to get a great color, to be able to get good, basic, raw video, to convert your log footage into regular footage. So that is what we're going to do. Now, we have our timeline here, right? Now, this shot right here was filmed in Sony Log. This was filmed on my iPhone, right? And what we want to do is we want to make every video make every clip look very similar at the end. That is the end goal. Yes, we want to have color. Yes, we want it to be moody. Yes, we want it to have all this and that. But we want to make every clip look like similar lighting, similar everything. And it's going to be hard to do that because you can't, obviously every environment is different for these shots, especially the cameras I was using. But I'm going to show you everything. So without further ado, let's get it going. Now, when we're here, we're going to want to go to the color tab down here. It's going to be right here. And you're going to be like, wow, what is this? What am I looking at? Well, first off, up top here, this is where you have all the different LUTs that you can use. I already showed you guys how to import the LUTs that I have. Right here, this is the clips. These are all the clips on your timeline, so you can circle through them. These are your nodes. Nodes, think of them as layers. Layers allow you to do a whole bunch of things, right? Then down here, all of this stuff is where you're going to be able to change the color. And I think I have to I'll move myself slightly so you guys can see. I'll move myself up. Maybe I'll move myself here for today. Yeah, that should be good. I'll move myself here. All right. There we go. Happy? You guys can see. Like I said, over here, this is going to be all the different colors that we can do. You have all these different things. I know it's very, very scary. Now, also right here, we have our scopes, we have our histograms, we have the waveform, parade, vector scope, histogram, whatnot. And as we see, we filmed this shot in log. Now this represents the colors in our video. 1023 represents white, 0 represents blacks. Now if you see, the reason why we film in log, and this is so important, if you have an iPhone 15 or 16 that can film in log, this is why we film in log. Log maintains the details in the highlights and the shadows. Hence, when you first color this video, when you first put this video into the software, you're going to get this very dull image. And from here, you're going to have to either one, convert it, or manually play with the colors, play with the contrast, shadows, highlights, and whatnot to be able to get the desired look that you're going for. So this is log footage. And if you didn't already film your footage with the Apple Log to Rec 709 on the Blackmagic camera app, if you're using iPhone, you can go ahead and you can import that LUT here and then just add it. If you're filming on a Sony camera and you have Sony Log, you're going to need to download a Sony Log to Rec 709. Or you can do it all manually, which is not the end of the world because you can do this yourself, right? You're basically going what looks good, what doesn't look good. So highlights, increase, shadows, decrease. So you could do that. Now me personally, what is this one? Me personally, I am going to use the conversion LUT because that's what I've always been doing, right? So we drag and drop our conversion LUT onto the first node, our first layer. This first layer, this is going to be where I do all my basic adjustments. This is where I'm going to do highlights, shadows, contrast, white balance, etc. Now, for some people, they will actually add more nodes and do one node for contrast, one node for highlight, one node for shadows. I think that's a waste of fucking time. You just do it on one thing, right? So, like I said again, this is what I do. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. If you've seen other things to do and you like that better, fine. This is how I do it. I'm going to show you. Like I said, I'm showing you how I do these things, not what other people do. This is how I learn, and this is how I'm going to continue to do it until I really sit down and learn a little bit more. But this has been working really well. I haven't had enough time to go ahead and go through all of DaVinci Resolve yet because I am still using Premiere Pro. So bear with me, but this is how exactly the same process on Premiere Pro, right? So we have this. Now, what am I going to do first? Well, look at this, and I'm going to make the white balance. So you can literally do this by pressing on this dropper tool and then just clicking a white spot on that video, right? And that will change your white balance. And a good way to know if your white balance is, fairly like you have good white balance is if you go to your parade, right? And these all kind of line up. That's how you know you kind of have a very good white balance. Like the white that you're looking at is an actual white. So if the lines on here, like they all go slightly above 768, that means we're good. So for this one, it looks like it needs a little bit more green. And a lot of it too is eyeballing. But the only thing for white balance is you're going to change the temp and the temperature or the tint, and both. You're going to change the temperature or the tint and the tint. And you're just going to do that accordingly. As you see, if we move this, it will move the parade form accordingly. But this is good to me. Obviously, the auto white balance, it will do a pretty good job. Sometimes you still need to do a little bit work on your own. From here, what am I looking at? Well, I want to add some contrast. So I'm going to drag and add some contrast. Contrast will sort of spread out the colors. So I'm going to go back to my waveform. And as you see, when I add the contrast, it will sort of stretch out. Now, the goal when you're looking at this is you want to have a very spread out color. You want this to be pretty much filled all around. And you don't want anything to be touching the zero line. You don't want to have anything that's touching the zero line. That means that you're losing details in the shadows, in the blacks. You don't want anything touching that. Now, when it comes to the 1023, touching the whites, 9 times out of 10, sometimes your lights are going to be hitting that, and that is perfectly okay. I actually like having my lights hit that top line and having that lose detail there because they are lights, and I kind of want the lights to be nice and bright in my videos, right? So from here, I'm going to increase the contrast. As I said, it's going to separate the colors a lot. Now, I'm not going to separate it too much, but this looks very good to me. From here, I like a very dark aesthetic, so I'm going to decrease the shadows significantly. And from here, I'm going to highlights look like, I think I'll decrease the highlights. So to me, this is a really good base video, right? I'll show you again with this, right? This one, I already added the conversion LUT. As you see, it looks good, but it could be better. Now for this one, I actually want to increase the saturation slightly, give it a little bit more color, contrast up, shadows down, not too much down, highlights slightly up. And to me, let's double check our white balance. The white balance looks good to me already. Perfect. Then we'll go ahead. This is iPhone footage. Now, iPhone footage, you don't need to use any conversion LUT, so don't worry about that. All we need to worry about is fixing this, right? So, what am I looking for? Well, let's look at this graph. Well, so this looks like it needs a little bit more saturation. Looks like it needs some contrast. Looks like the highlights could be lowered slightly. Shadows lowered as well. But we have some stuff touching the blacks. Now, what we'll have to do is go to, where are the blacks here? This is our blacks, I believe. Yes. So you want to go to your HDR tab, right? We were in the primaries for the most part. You want to go to your HDR tab, black offset. You want to increase that so that nothing is touching the blacks. We can just increase it all the way. Looks good to me. All right. Let's see. Now, issue with this one is our white balance, as I said. We forgot to do that. I'm looking at this. I'll go to my parade. Looks like there's still a little bit too much red in here. So what I'm going to do is increase the greens, and increase the blue slightly. Now this looks much better. I'm going to go back to my waveform, and I think I'll decrease the highlights even more. Right? Our shadows down as well. Excuse me. All right. So now we have a base footage. I'm going to show you two ways. Now, this first way is if you're using any sort of LUT, if you're using the LUT that I give you guys, or any LUTs you have online, or ones that you create later on. Now, this is easy, very, very simple, right? So we have our base footage. All we're going to do is right-click, add node, corrector, drag it onto this line until it turns yellow. From here, all we have to do is drag our LUT onto here. Simple as that. From here, you can actually change how much you want it to sort of affect your image, right? You can do 0, which not at all, or you can do all the way to 2. And that's how you change the intensity of your LUT, right? You go to this tab right here, your key tab, and then you increase or decrease the gain accordingly. From here, what am I looking at? Well, do I like this? Yes, but I may want to actually decrease the shadows even more. Probably not actually, but I just wanted to look at it. Well, this looks really good to me. Nice detail in the shadows. It's a nice dark shadows, but there's also enough contrast to where you can see the color. Highlights aren't too light. Now, one thing with highlights is if your highlights are too bright, it's going to show as white. And in my opinion, the lower your highlights are, the more moody color you're going to get, right? But I still do like having, you know, I still do like having a little bit of white. It just depends on your personal preference. But if you're noticing there's a lot of white in your shot, all you got to do is just decrease the highlights, literally. Shadows will do that, but it also you'll start to lose more detail in the dark areas. Again, I'll show you on this. This is our iPhone footage. Right click, add node, corrector, drag it onto the line. From here, you add the blue. Now, this looks significantly different. So what I need to do is decrease the shadows. It looks a little bit green. So I'm going to add some red, or some pink, sorry. And I'm going to increase the blues a little bit more. And from here, saturation could probably go down slightly. And I'll probably go to this and increase this to 2. So I'm kind of looking at this and I'm not a big fan. So I'm probably going to have to increase the blues even more. Highlights, that doesn't do much. Really is the shadows. So we have this, then we decrease the shadows. Probably decrease the saturation even more. Oops, we don't want to touch that. For this one, I'm probably going to add a little bit more blue. Slightly. So I'm touching the gamma. And this does, although it doesn't look perfect to this, it looks pretty damn good to me. All right. Perfect. We have that. So now let's create a LUT. So in my opinion, it's very easy to create a LUT if you have a video that has a whole bunch of skin showing. Now I'm going to show you why, because we map out our skin tones. So, excuse me, from here, again, so it can be a slightly different process, but you're going to go here, you're going to click add node, corrector, drag it onto the timeline. Then you want to right click on the second node and click, where is it? Add node, add layer. Okay. Now, on this third node, you're going to want to go down to your dropper tool, your qualifier tool here, and you want to click this. And what are we going to do? All we're going to do is map out all of the skin tones. And how do we check if we are mapping out all of our skin tones? You would close your LUT tab, and you would literally just click this. All right. Now you're going to use the plus and minus to continue to map out your skin tones. So we have all of this. We're almost there. Turn this off. Okay, so we have all of our skin tones mapped out, but we have some stuff that we don't necessarily want mapped out. So you want to go down here, and you just want to play around with these things. All right, so we have that. Okay. Again, we're just playing around with this slightly. So we are losing a little bit. See, this is the hardest part, is literally mapping out. Now I know it's hard because I'm wearing literally I'm wearing brown stuff here. Or actually reset all of this. I think I touched with it too much. Okay. Let's try this again. So we click this, and we're just going to map out all of our skin tones. Go back here. Now let's reset node grade. Okay, let's try this again. Boom. All right. Add this. Add this. Oops. We don't want that. Now we don't want this. I guess it's hard to not have it. Yeah, we're gonna have to have it. Alright, we're literally losing this part. Oops. Okay, this looks as good as we're gonna get it. Okay. Boom. We have our skin tones mapped out. Now, make sure to toggle this off. That is very key. Trust me. Now, we'll go back. We'll go to our second node. We'll go down here, and you got two options. You can go to your primary color wheels, or you can go to your HDR. Now, I'm going to do HDR. I'm going to go down. What color are we feeling, chat? Thinking. Holy shit, that looks like ass. What the fuck? Okay, wait. We gotta redo this again. Okay, I'm having this is the biggest thing, is literally mapping out skin tones. I'm telling you, it is the hardest part about doing this. Okay, I think this is like this background, there's literally nothing we can do about it, okay? Go back here, toggle this off, second node, okay? We'll go to our HDR. Now, we'll go to our global, and I'm feeling like a tealish orange. Now, okay, you're gonna notice it looks a little bit off here. Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do about that. All right, that is just the sad reality of this. But I will tell you that we will be able to fix slightly that. Okay, global, that's a little bit too green. Okay, then we'll want to decrease our shadows. Fuck. Okay. From here, we go back to our color wheels, or actually we can stay here. You get some more detail. Then we'll go back to our primary color wheels. This, I'll decrease the shadows, decrease the highlights, and let's go back and turn this off. That looks like shit. Okay. We have this literally white outline. Like I said, it is this literally this mapping out skin tones. Let's go back. Let's reset this. I'm not going to touch this. Okay, let's go here. See what we're mapping out. Okay. Literally all I'm going to do is just denoise it. Okay, that's good. Let's try this again. Okay, global. Make it blue. Make the lights blue as well. Shadows blue as well. We'll go back here. Shadows down. Saturation down slightly. Highlights down. Okay, so we have our color. So it's nice and dark. And we can actually go here. If we notice, we want it to sort of line up. We don't want it to be too noticeable. There we go. So there we are. This is our LUT. This is our color LUT. We made a blue one. So now to save this as your own LUT, right? I guess I'll go over it again, right? So first node, you basic adjustments, contrast, saturation, highlight, shadows, white balance, right? Second node, you create the second node, attach it, then you create a layer. On the third node, you go out into the qualifier tool and you map out your skin tones. After you've done that, you go back to your second node and you can either go through the HDR tab or you can go through your gamma tab. And that's what we'll do. Then create your color, drag these in the direction that you want. Don't drag it too much because it's not going to look nice. And after that, double check that your skin tones and whatnot are not like glaringly like the color. This isn't like lighter than the other part, which is what we did. So like you couldn't even tell that we mapped out the skin tones. But as you see, we have perfect skin tones and we have a nice color in the background. So now what are we going to do? We're going to save this as our own personal LUT. So before we do that, you're going to have to, unfortunately, I hate doing this, but you have to reset the node grade on the first part. You're going to get this nice bland thing. That's fine. Right click on that clip that you just have the color on. Generate LUT, 65 point cube LUT. We're going to name this DaVinci Blue LUT. Save that. And it should be here if I'm not wrong. Right, we do have it here. So now let us turn back that contrast on, that basic adjustments on. And if we wanted to apply this to the rest of our videos, all we got to do, go ahead, drag it on here. Same thing with this one. Okay, we reset the node grade and we'll just drag it on here. Looks good to me. That clip looks good. This looks good. This one needs a lot more shadows, probably less saturation as well. Highlight should go down and we should increase the black offset. Okay, looks good to me. Then we go to this one, add node, corrector, place it on here, drag our LUT. Oh, well, we actually forgot to do basic adjustments on this. We'll go here, increase our contrast, decrease the highlights, decrease the shadows, and white balance. There we go. I think I'll decrease the saturation also on this. Okay, go ahead and we drag this blue LUT over here. Go here, we'll actually increase the gain of this. Sorry. From here, we'll go down to this, decrease the highlight. Actually, we'll keep the highlights where they're at. We'll decrease the shadow significantly. And this looks like it needs a little bit more blue. So we'll add a little bit more blue onto this. All right, there we are. This is log footage. So we have our log to Rec 709. We increase the contrast, decrease the shadows. White balance right here. Click the white part. There we are. Add node, corrector, boom. Drag our blue LUT onto here. Ooh, this looks really good. I'll probably decrease the shadows even more. All right, and we go here. This is iPhone footage. So what are we doing? Contrast. Highlights are down. Shadows are down. We go here. We have some stuff touching the black. So we'll go ahead, offset that. Go back here. I forgot to do white balance. White balance is right here. That looks a little bit too orange for me, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue. It looks good to me. Add this, add node, corrector, drag on top of here. Add our blue LUT. This one needs a little bit more shadows on here. Highlights could go down slightly too. There we are. And I'll probably do a little bit more black offset as well. There we are. Looks good to me. Same thing here. This is iPhone footage. Contrast up, highlights down, shadows down, white balance here. Probably do it one more time, see if it gives us a better result. Add this, add node, corrector, drag on top of here, drag our blue LUT. This one needs more shadows. Looks good to me. This log footage, drag our log corrector, contrast up, shadows down, highlights down, white balance, add node, corrector, go down here, add our blue LUT. This needs more shadows. Highlights are down as well. And as we see, we have some black, so we'll black offset that. All right, this looks like it needs a little bit more blue, so we'll add more blue into the shadows. Let's go back here. This looks good, looks good, looks good. This one looks a little bit red, so we're going to add a little bit more green. All right. This one needs a little bit more blue. There we go, that looks much better. All right, go here, log footage. What do? Drag our conversion. We're in here, contrast up, shadows down. Highlights already down, we don't really need to touch that. Go here, white balance. Add node, corrector. Go down here, add our blue LUT. This one needs a lot more shadow. And we'll go here to our HDR and actually add more blue as well. Give it a little bit moodier look. All right, looks good to me. Lastly, this is our last shot. This is iPhone shot. So go back here. This is supposed to be white, so we'll click that. Contrast up. We'll decrease the saturation of this slightly. Highlights down, shadows down. We are going to want to offset the black slightly. Then we go here, add node, corrector, add our blue LUT. Now this looks like it needs a lot more blue. And we'll decrease the shadows even more. This one's a hard clip to use because the background is not really white. So we'll use what we got. We'll actually go back to this. I think I'll reset this to 50. Yeah. Unfortunately, this clip just doesn't look the greatest. But we'll decrease the saturation. We'll actually go to here in our lights. Make it look like that. And that'll do for color grading. So if we go back to our timeline, everything is color graded. We'll go back and just look at it. All right, so looking at this, it's now just lining up the clips so they look better. The colors match better. So what are we going to do? This looks good. This looks good. This looks good. This one doesn't look as good. So we'll go back to our color tab. And in my opinion, it's the shadows. Shadows need to decrease and our highlights. And we just need, a little bit more blue everywhere. And this is where we can actually add another node. Now this looks to be a little bit too much blue, so we'll actually decrease that. But for this one, shadows need to go down even more. All right. So this looks, I mean, we do have this green right here, so that's just going to happen. But yeah, and we go to here. This one looks like our shadows need a little bit more blue. So we'll do that. And our lights, we'll just make sure those are blue as well. This looks way better. This one, we'll add another node corrector. And for that corrector, all we're going to do is decrease the shadows even more. So this looks way better. I mean, you can even honestly say that our shadows need slightly more blue as well. This one literally just looks like we need more color. So we'll add more color. As well as for our lighter areas, we'll add more color. That looks way better. This one, same thing. Looks like we need a little bit more color in the highlights and the shadows. But other than that, that looks good. This one looks like it's a little bit. That one actually looks good to me. And lastly, this one, we kind of fixed it. Yes, we have this orange background, so there's not much we can do. But that is, for the most part, color grading. Now, best part about this, we have this now. Now we can actually finish this loop. So we'll go ahead, we'll cut right here, drag this to the beginning of the video, and now we have a perfect loop with the color grade and with the zoom in and zoom out. As you see, I'll toggle this on. Let's watch it, see how it goes. There we go. And honestly, I never showed you guys this before, but we might as well add the sound fading out. So all you're going to do towards the end, again, you're just keyframing. So you'll keyframe here, go to the end, and you'll decrease the volume. Should give us a fade out. There we go. Perfect. So that's color grading for you guys. To put it in the simplest aspect, I tried to simplify it as much as possible for you guys, but that is literally how I color grade on Premiere Pro. The exact steps just on DaVinci Resolve. So hope you guys enjoy. This was a long video, but definitely worth it. I know I kind of yapped for a little bit and we're kind of figuring out, because the hardest part about this, again, is the skin tones. Skin tones, skin tones, skin tones. Get those right and the rest of the video will look really great. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one for some extra stuff on DaVinci Resolve that I haven't actually shown. So peace.